Hi, and welcome to the 5 Minute Travel Teacher. This video is on travel lessons learned from 2020. My name is Dawn Kidd, and I'm the owner of Kidd Travel along with my husband Mark. I have been a teacher for over 25 years, including group travel planning for 18. Middle school has given me a unique set of tools, resilient, persistent, very detail oriented, but most of all, I'm truly invested in the successes and joys of those in my care. 2020 has been one heck of a year. And as it's coming to a close, I wanted to look back on it and think about what lessons I've learned from this that impact the travel industry. Number one, life is short, so make the most of it while you can. Number two, it's a small world after all. And every time I say that, all I can think of is the ride in Disney. Number three, fun and wellness must go hand in hand from now on. Number four, protecting yourself should not be an afterthought. And number five, cheap can cost you more in the long run. This year has taught us that we need to live, that tomorrow is never promised. We need to learn to value friends and family and spend those days with them, whether it means on vacation or something else. But we really need to value each and every day. Vacation days, there were, I believe, several million, 2.5 million vacation days left on the table at the end of 2019. People don't take all of their vacation days. We tend to be very workaholic here in the US. And I want to remind everybody that this year has taught you take those days, even if they're staycations. It's okay, but take the time for your family. This year has also taught us that it's really a very small world, and to remind us that what happens all the way on the other side of the world really does affect us. We're not simply a country that does not get impacted by others. We need to pay attention to everything that's going on. In our own communities, we've learned that our neighbors and our family and friends and small businesses really matter. It's those people that make the day to day one step better. Probably the biggest lesson is that fun, everyday fun, and wellness must go hand in hand. We cannot ignore things anymore. On vacation, whether it's a cruise ship or in an all inclusive or in a hotel or on a plane, we've learned that increased cleaning protocols absolutely have to happen. We've learned that touchless solutions like QR codes for menus or key swipes rather than inserted keys are the way to go. We've also learned that testing and tracking is something that needs to happen. We can't always assume that everything is fine. And we've learned that social distancing is not going to be just a COVID-19 thing. We've learned that there are some situations where being that close to others is just not good for our health. Some of these things are being taken into account with the science that goes with it. Science is taking things leaps and bounds. Cruise ships are installing air filtration, which goes far beyond HEPA filtration, but actually uses negative ionization to kill bacteria and viruses in the air. All inclusives are using new techniques for cleaning and sanitizing their rooms, most times closing them for about 24 hours before letting anybody else in. We've learned an awful lot, and I don't think these lessons will go away suddenly in 2021. Some other lessons that the travel industry has taught us, and I think this one is probably the hardest lessons that we've all learned, is that number one, you need to protect yourself before things go wrong. Many of us just assume that things will be okay and are ready to take our chances. This year taught us a whole new lesson. The average traveler is almost twice as likely to purchase travel insurance from now on. Granted, COVID is considered an act of God because it's a pandemic, and so therefore it is not covered in the sense that you can't say, I'm nervous about COVID and I don't want to go. However, if you get sick on vacation, whether it be COVID or pneumonia or break a leg, travel insurance is going to help you out. There are many different kinds of travel insurance, and many companies used to offer something called CFAR, CFAR, cancel for any reason. The people that had that insurance were able to cancel every bit of their vacations through the March through the current time and had no problem canceling it and got it all back. Many of the companies are holding off on selling CFAR insurance until things get a little bit more stable. Please make sure that when you book a vacation or do anything else where you have that terms and conditions document, we all know that when we get that on an app or so forth that we download, we say, sure, I agree. And that happens with vacations as well. Make sure you know your terms and conditions. One of the things that happened to so many people purchasing their vacations, they didn't realize who they purchased it through was going to charge a $200 to $300 fee on top of what the airlines and cruises and so forth were holding. And people lost a lot of extra money that they really did not need to lose. In some cases, there are people that never got their money back at all because of the terms and conditions, which is just not right. People in the future are going to be more inclined to be spontaneous and to plan things out a little bit more. The average traveler spent 2 to 4 months planning something out. People now are spending 4 to 8 months planning things out. Part of that is because COVID is still a factor, but the planning has doubled at this point. People are realizing they need to know a little bit more rather than just jumping on a plane and going. And finally, cheap can cost you more in the long run. Online travel agencies, also called OTAs, are sites such as Travelocity and Expedia and Cheap Caribbean. And many people over the last 20 or so years have decided that travel agents are no longer useful and that they can book their own vacation on these sites. I won't even go into all the horror stories, but certainly people during COVID found out what their value or lack of value was. Some people got lucky. Expedia closed their phone lines for almost 3 weeks, and people were unable to cancel. They were unable to get a hold of anybody. Even now, the wait times, their on hold times, can be upwards of 3 hours. They don't sell customer service. You may save $50 or $60 or $70 on that vacation, but what you lose is immense. If things go wrong, $50 is not going to solve it. In most cases, the price isn't even different. Don't let yourself get stranded, standing there holding the paperwork for a vacation that you can't use, or that you get there and the hotel is too full, or there's not enough seats on the plane. Make sure that you are getting help when you need it. Travel agents can be that for you. So when you understand that time and money are no longer endless, which is really one of the huge lessons from COVID, remember that when you decide that travel is safe enough again for you, and that's going to be different for everybody, please make sure you contact your favorite travel agent. I'm hoping it's me. But if you'd like to give me a call, the information is up on the screen. All you need to do is give me a call. I will answer questions for people, even if they haven't booked their vacation with me, and I will go to bat for you.